My dear friends, let me start with a simple question. What if I told you that just 2 hours of your day could completely change the next 20 years of your life? Most people want big results, but they don't want small habits. They want transformation, but not the discipline. They want success, but not the process. But life doesn't transform with big decisions. Life transforms with small, consistent actions repeated daily. So today, let me share the 2-hour daily habit that has transformed millions of lives across the world. And if you practice it sincerely, it will shift your mindset, your focus, your energy, your productivity, your relationships, and ultimately, your entire destiny. These 2 hours are not something you find. These 2 hours are something you create. Break them into 4 powerful sections. When we talk about giving 30 minutes to your mind every morning, it may sound simple, but simplicity is where real transformation hides. Think about this every single day. The world demands your attention the moment you wake up. Your phone buzzes, notifications flash, messages pile up. The world cries out, "Look at me!" And without even realizing it, you hand over your peace, your focus, your clarity to a device that cannot even give you a real hug. The morning is the most delicate, most powerful time of the day. Your mind is fresh, your thoughts are gentle, your emotions are quiet. This is the moment when your mind decides the tone for the next 24 hours. And in this precious moment, if the first thing you feed your mind is chaos, comparison, or complaints, then what else can your day become except chaotic, comparative, and filled with complaints? Imagine a farmer starting his day by poisoning his soil. No matter how much water he adds later, no matter how much sunlight the crops get, those seeds will not grow beautifully because the soil was corrupted from the start. Similarly, your mind is the soil of your life. What you plant in the first 30 minutes determines what you harvest throughout the day. If you begin your morning by flooding your mind with negativity, arguments on social media, or the endless highlight reels of people's fake perfect lives, then your inner peace becomes damaged before your day even begins. But when you begin your day by nourishing your mind with wisdom, inspiration, quiet reflection, and positive thoughts, you give yourself the gift of inner strength. And a strong mind makes everything else in life easier. We all know people who wake up already stressed, already worried, already tired. Not because their life is hard, but because their mind is heavy. And a heavy mind makes even simple tasks feel like a mountain. But a peaceful mind can turn mountains into manageable steps. So ask yourself how you start your morning. Do you give your mind nutrition or pollution? Do you give it peace or pressure? Do you give it wisdom or anxiety? Let me give you a simple daily example. Think of a person who wakes up and spends the first 30 minutes scrolling. They see someone with a better body, and instantly they feel insecure. They see someone with more money, and suddenly they feel unsuccessful. They see someone on vacation, and suddenly their own life feels boring. Nothing actually changed, except what they fed their mind. And that one choice shapes their entire day. They walk with heaviness, they work without enthusiasm, they respond with irritation, and they sleep with dissatisfaction. Not because their day was bad, but because their mind was unprepared. Now imagine someone else. They wake up, sit by the window, breathe deeply, and read something uplifting, maybe a page from a book of wisdom, maybe an inspiring quote, maybe a life lesson that gives them clarity. They spend a few minutes listening to something positive, maybe a spiritual talk, maybe a motivational audio, maybe something that touches the heart. They take a moment to reflect on what they're grateful for. Their mind becomes calm, centered, and bright. And with this calmness, they walk into their day with confidence and clarity. When challenges come, they respond with balance. When stress arrives, they breathe through it. When people behave negatively, they don't absorb it. Not because the day was easy, but because their mind was prepared. The truth is simple. A prepared mind handles life better, and your morning preparation is what shields you from the world's chaos. Many people underestimate this. They say, "It's just 30 minutes. How can it change my life?" But think about it. Your phone needs charging every night, or it stops working. Your body needs food every day, or it becomes weak. Your mind also needs nourishment every morning, or it becomes vulnerable. And a vulnerable mind becomes a victim of stress, fear, anger, confusion, and negativity. Think about soldiers. Before entering the battlefield, they don't run in unprepared. They train, they practice, they mentally prepare, they align themselves with discipline, strength, and clarity. Your life is also a battlefield. You face challenges, deadlines, responsibilities, pressures, emotional storms, and unexpected situations. If you walk into your day unprepared, you get defeated easily. But if your morning strengthens your mind, you become strong enough to win your day. This is why those first 30 minutes are sacred. They are not for the world. They are for you. They are not for noise. They are for inner strength. They are not for comparison. They are for clarity. They are not for consumption. They are for creation. You are creating your mindset. You are creating your inner world. You are creating the energy that will carry you through the day. So treat your mind like a garden. Water it with wisdom. Feed it with positivity. Protect it from negativity. Let it grow beautifully. Because when your mind blossoms, your life blossoms. When your thoughts are aligned, your actions are aligned. And when your actions are aligned, your destiny becomes powerful. Your mind is the engine of your life. When you give it the right 30 minutes every morning, you give yourself the permission to rise, to shine, to thrive, and to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. When we talk about dedicating 30 minutes to your body every day, most people think only of exercise or fitness. But the truth is, your body is the vehicle through which you experience life. Without a healthy, energized body, even the most brilliant ideas or the strongest intentions remain stuck inside you. Think about it. If your phone's battery is low, you can't use it to its full potential. Similarly, if your body is weak, tired, or neglected, your mind cannot perform at its peak, your energy cannot flow, and your spirit cannot soar. And yet, so many of us take our bodies for granted. We spend hours scrolling, we consume junk food without thinking, we stay sedentary for long hours, and then we complain, "I don't have enough energy." But the reality is, you are only as alive as your body allows you to be. Imagine a morning where you wake up and your body feels heavy. You drag yourself through the day, relying on coffee, sugar, or stimulants to keep going. By noon, your mind is foggy, your emotions are unstable, and your focus disappears. Everything feels harder than it should. And it all started with neglecting the simplest habit: moving your body, nourishing it, and honoring it. Now, imagine a different scenario. You wake up, stretch, take a deep breath, and move your body intentionally. You walk, run, stretch, or do yoga. You feel your muscles awaken, your blood flow, your heart beat with life. Suddenly, your energy rises. Your mind becomes sharper. Your mood lifts. Even small challenges that would normally irritate you feel manageable. Life feels lighter, brighter, and more possible. This is the power of taking just 30 minutes for your body, not for vanity, not for comparison, not for society, but for you, so that you can live fully, think clearly, and act purposefully. Your body is not just a machine, it's a temple, a sacred space where your soul resides. When you feed it well, when you hydrate it, when you move it, you honor yourself. And when you honor yourself, the world responds differently to you. You walk with confidence because you feel strong. You speak with clarity because your energy flows. You act with courage because your body supports your mind. Conversely, when you neglect your body, everything else suffers. Your mind feels weak, your emotions become unstable, your relationships fray, and even your dreams seem heavier to carry. Your body is not a separate part of life, it is life itself in motion. Let me give you an example from daily life. Think of someone who spends hours sitting at a desk, hunched over a computer, sipping coffee, and ignoring their physical well-being. By the end of the week, they feel stiff, irritable, and exhausted. They blame stress or workload, but the real reason is simple: they ignored the very tool that allows them to function. Now think of someone who spends 30 minutes each morning walking in nature, doing stretches, or practicing simple exercises. By the end of the week, they feel lighter, happier, and more present. Their work becomes easier, their focus sharper, their mood calmer, and their interactions kinder. This is not magic, it's biology. It's the simple law of cause and effect. Your body responds to care just as it responds to neglect. And it's not just about exercise, it's also about awareness. How you eat, how you sleep, how you breathe, how you carry yourself throughout the day, all of it matters. If you fuel your body with nutritious food, you give your mind clarity. If you sleep enough, you give your emotions stability. If you breathe deeply, you give your spirit calmness. If you move your body with gratitude, you give your soul a sense of joy. Every small choice compounds. Every habit adds up. And 30 minutes a day can be the anchor habit that transforms everything else. Because when your body feels alive, your mind feels alive. And when your mind feels alive, your life feels alive. The amazing thing is, this habit is simple. You don't need fancy gyms or expensive equipment. You don't need extreme routines or harsh discipline. All you need is intention, consistency, and love for yourself. A 30-minute walk in the morning sun, a short stretching session while listening to inspiring music, a few push-ups, a few yoga poses, even dancing to your favorite song. Anything that makes your body move and feel alive counts. The goal is not perfection, the goal is presence. The goal is saying to your body, I see you, I honor you, I invest in you. And when you do that every day slowly, steadily, your life shifts, your energy rises, your focus sharpens, and your confidence grows, and even your relationships become richer because you are fully present with the people around you. Think of it like this: your body is the engine, your mind is the driver, and your soul is the destination. You cannot drive far or joyfully if your engine is weak. You cannot navigate challenges if your energy is low. You cannot reach your destiny if your body cannot support your journey. But when you dedicate just 30 minutes a day to your body, you strengthen your engine, you prepare your mind, and you honor your soul, life stops being a struggle and starts being an experience. Challenges become opportunities, stress becomes manageable, and your happiness becomes possible. So today, make a choice. Stop neglecting your body. Stop waiting for motivation or inspiration to magically appear. Stop blaming circumstances. Take 30 minutes, move, stretch, walk, breathe, nourish, honor, and watch how your mind becomes sharper, your heart becomes lighter, and your life becomes brighter. Because a strong body is not just about health, it's about freedom, energy, resilience, and the ability to live fully. Your body is the home of your dreams, the vessel of your potential, and the companion of your soul. Treat it with love, care, and respect, and it will carry you to heights you never imagined. When we speak about dedicating 30 minutes to your soul every day, many people misunderstand it. They think it is about rituals, religion, or complicated spiritual practices. But the truth is, connecting with your soul is about connecting with your inner self. It is about stepping away from the noise, the hurry, the endless chatter of the world, and simply being present with yourself. Your soul is that quiet part of you that observes, feels, and knows beyond the mind. And just like your body needs food and your mind needs knowledge, your soul needs attention. Without it, you can achieve, acquire, and accomplish, but you will never feel complete. You may have money, fame, or success, yet your inner world will feel empty, restless, and unfulfilled. Think about it. How often do you truly sit in silence? How often do you stop scrolling, stop talking, stop reacting, and just listen to yourself? Most of us rush from one task to another, from one thought to another, and never realize that in all this activity, our inner self is quietly suffering. It's like a plant kept in a dark corner. It exists, it survives, but it doesn't bloom. When you dedicate 30 minutes every day to your soul, through meditation, prayer, reflection, or even quiet walks, you allow that plant to reach the sunlight. You allow your spirit to awaken. You allow your inner voice to be heard. And when that voice is heard, it guides you, calms you, and strengthens you. It is the difference between living life reactively and living life intentionally. Let me share a simple example. Think of someone who wakes up, jumps straight into emails, notifications, or news. They spend the day reacting to external events, responding to others' urgencies, and meeting deadlines. By evening, they are exhausted, stressed, and emotionally drained. Their body is tired, their mind is restless, and their soul is silent, unheard. Now think of someone who wakes up, takes a few deep breaths, sits quietly, and reflects for 30 minutes. They write down their thoughts, pray, meditate, or simply sit and observe themselves. Throughout the day, even in the same circumstances, they respond differently. They are calmer when challenges arise. They are gentler when conflicts occur. They are happier when small things happen, not because life changed, but because their soul has been nurtured. The calmness inside them radiates outside. They are not controlled by situations, they control their responses. And that is the true power of dedicating time to your soul. Daily life is full of distractions, noise, and stress. Work pressures, family responsibilities, social obligations, and even our own thoughts keep us in constant motion. In this whirlwind, it is easy to forget the inner observer, the quiet witness inside you who sees clearly, knows deeply, and feels truthfully. That quiet observer is your soul. When you ignore it, life feels heavy. When you listen to it, life feels light. You begin to realize that many of your problems are not really external. They are inside you. Your worries, fears, anxieties, and frustrations come from a mind that is overactive and a soul that is neglected. When you care for your soul, you quiet the chatter, clear the fog, and align yourself with clarity, purpose, and peace. Think about the analogy of a lamp. If the wick is dirty, if there is no oil, the lamp flickers, dims, and cannot illuminate the room. Your soul is like the wick. Your inner attention is like the oil. When you take time for reflection, meditation, or prayer, you clean the wick and add the oil. Your inner light begins to shine, guiding your path, lighting up your decisions, and warming your heart. The more consistently you nurture your soul, the brighter your inner light becomes. And with that light, everything in life becomes clearer, challenges seem smaller, decisions become easier, emotions become balanced, relationships become sweeter. You become the calm in the storm, the anchor in chaos, and the source of joy in your own life. It doesn't matter how busy you are. 30 minutes is not a lot of time, but it is a lot of impact. You can wake up half an hour earlier. You can sit in your garden, your balcony, or a quiet corner and dedicate this time to yourself. You can reflect on what you are grateful for, write down your thoughts, pray for clarity, or simply observe your breath. The mind will resist. It will say, I am too busy, or I don't have time. But remember, every great person you admire, every leader, every sage, every achiever has found time to connect with their soul. The difference between a successful life and a frustrated life is often this simple habit, listening to the voice within. When your soul is nurtured, you develop resilience. You face stress without breaking. You face criticism without reacting destructively. You face uncertainty with faith and clarity. You develop a kind of strength that is unseen but felt deeply by those around you. People feel your calm, your presence, and your grounded energy. And the most beautiful part is that you don't need validation. You are complete because your soul has been fed, acknowledged, and respected. So today, make a commitment to your inner self. Dedicate 30 minutes every day, not for anyone else, not for recognition, not for results, but for your soul. Sit quietly, listen, meditate, pray, breathe, observe, write, whatever method speaks to you. Just make sure it connects you to your inner world. Because when you care for your soul, everything else falls into place. Your mind becomes clearer, your body becomes stronger, your relationships become richer, and your life becomes more meaningful. 30 minutes a day is not just a habit, it is an investment in your inner peace, your purpose, and your ultimate happiness. And that investment pays the highest dividends, far beyond money, success, or fame. When we talk about dedicating 30 minutes to personal growth, we are really talking about investing in yourself, the most valuable asset you will ever own. Many people live their lives on autopilot. They wake up, go to work, scroll endlessly, come home, sleep, and repeat. Their minds are busy, but their growth is stagnant. They complain about life not giving them opportunities, about luck not being on their side, or about circumstances being unfair. But the truth is, life doesn't give opportunities to those who are unprepared. Life gives opportunities to those who have grown themselves, who have sharpened their skills, and who have upgraded their knowledge. The person who invests 30 minutes daily in learning, in reflection, or in mastering a new skill is the person who steps ahead while the world waits. Think about it this way. Every day the world is moving forward. New technologies, new ideas, new opportunities appear every day. If you stay stagnant, you will be left behind. Imagine a river flowing continuously. If you place a leaf in it, the leaf moves with the current. If you try to resist, the river sweeps past you. Life is like that river. It moves relentlessly. If you are not learning, growing, or adapting, life moves past you. But when you dedicate even a small fraction of your day to improving yourself, you step into the current with purpose, riding it rather than being swept away. Let me give you a simple example. Think of someone who wants to get better at their career, but spends their free time watching TV, scrolling social media, or gossiping. Their knowledge remains the same, their skills remain the same, and their growth remains limited. Now think of someone who spends 30 minutes every day reading a book, watching an inspiring talk, or learning a new skill online. Within a few months, their mind is sharper. Within a year, their skills are stronger. Within a few years, they are not only more confident, but also more capable, more resourceful, and more prepared for opportunities that the world throws at them. The only difference between the two people is that small, consistent investment in personal growth. That tiny daily habit becomes the bridge between who they were yesterday and who they will be tomorrow. Growth is not about big leaps, it is about steady steps. Many people wait for motivation to strike, for circumstances to be perfect, or for a teacher to appear. But growth happens when you take small, intentional actions consistently. 30 minutes a day may seem insignificant, but over time, it compounds. It is like planting a tree and watering it every day. Some days you see no change. Some days it feels slow, but eventually, the tree grows tall, strong, and unshakable. That is exactly what happens when you feed your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and skill every day. You don't always need a formal class or an expensive course. Growth can happen in small ways too. It can be learning a new word, practicing a new habit, writing down your reflections, or observing the world with curiosity. The person who is constantly learning and reflecting becomes more adaptable, more creative, and more resilient. They see solutions where others see problems, opportunities where others see obstacles, and possibilities where others see limits. Personal growth is not just about career or wealth. It is about evolving your entire self, upgrading your mindset, and raising the quality of your life from within. Consider this: life rewards those who are prepared, not those who are lucky. Every great achiever you admire, every inventor, leader, entrepreneur, or artist did not wait for life to hand them opportunities. They created themselves first. They invested time in learning, in practice, in reflection, and in honing their abilities. They prepared their mind, their skills, and their heart to receive what the world would eventually offer. And the beauty is that this preparation requires only time, discipline, and consistency, not luck. 30 minutes a day is enough to start this process. Growth also inspires confidence. When you learn something new, when you understand a concept more deeply, when you improve a skill, you feel stronger. That strength translates into action. You take decisions more clearly. You handle challenges more calmly. And you approach life with courage. The investment in personal growth is the only investment that never fails. Other things, money, possessions, even relationships, can fluctuate, but the knowledge, skill, and clarity you develop remain with you forever. And let's be honest, life is full of surprises. Opportunities appear suddenly, challenges strike without warning, and the world often tests us in unexpected ways. The person who has spent time growing themselves is ready. Their mind is equipped, their judgment is sharp, and their courage is steady. They are not afraid of change, they embrace it. They do not panic at obstacles, they overcome them. They do not complain about circumstances, they rise above them. That is the power of personal growth. It is preparation, it is empowerment, it is self-mastery. So today, make a commitment to yourself. Dedicate 30 minutes every day, not for others, not for approval, not for recognition, but for you. Read a book, watch a meaningful talk, practice a skill, reflect on your thoughts, or write down ideas. Make yourself a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more capable every day. Because small, consistent steps lead to extraordinary results. Because what you do daily shapes who you become. Because the person you are becoming is the foundation of the life you will live. Personal growth is a lifelong journey, but it starts with a simple decision to give yourself time, attention, and care. 30 minutes a day is not a burden, it is a gift. It is the bridge between mediocrity and excellence, between dreams and reality, between who you are today and who you are capable of becoming. Invest in yourself daily, and life will invest in you abundantly. When we talk about consistency beating intensity, we are really talking about the secret force that separates ordinary people from extraordinary people. Most of us look for quick results, instant gratification, or dramatic transformations. We start with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of hope. We push ourselves hard for a few days or weeks, only to give up when results don't appear immediately. Life, however, doesn't work that way. Nature doesn't create a tree in a day. The river doesn't carve a canyon overnight, and your success won't arrive through sudden bursts of effort. True transformation is the result of small, intentional actions done consistently, day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching, and even when progress seems invisible. Think about your own daily life. How many times have you started something with full enthusiasm? Maybe a fitness routine, a new habit, or a personal project, only to abandon it after a few days. The first few days feel exciting. Your motivation is high, your energy is up, and the results seem tangible. But soon, reality sets in. Life gets busy, distractions appear, laziness creeps in, and excuses take over. Most people stop at this stage, believing that inconsistency is acceptable. But the truth is, consistency is the silent multiplier of results. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't demand attention, but over time, it compounds into extraordinary outcomes. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine a person who wants to save money. One month, they save a large amount, feeling proud. The next month, they spend freely, thinking, I'll save later. By the end of the year, they realize they have nothing to show. Now, consider someone else who saves a small amount every single day without fail. At first, it doesn't feel significant. One day, 1 week, even a month seems negligible. But after a year, the small daily savings have grown into a substantial amount. The difference between the two is not the effort, it is the consistency. Small actions, repeated daily, always win over occasional intensity. Consistency also builds trust with yourself and with life. When you show up every day, even in small ways, you develop a pattern of reliability. Your mind starts to trust you, your body starts to respond, and your spirit starts to believe. It is the difference between someone who dreams and someone who achieves. Dreaming without action is fantasy. Action without consistency is wasted effort. Consistent action, even if slow, creates momentum, and momentum turns into mastery. Think of a musician learning a new instrument. Practicing for 3 hours once a month is not enough. Practicing 15 or 20 minutes every single day, steadily improving, is what produces skill, confidence, and mastery. Similarly, in your personal life, your career, your relationships, and your habits, small, consistent efforts done daily are what create lasting impact. It is not the intensity of one day that matters, but the devotion across many days that builds greatness. Daily life is full of distractions, pressures, and competing priorities. It is easy to be inconsistent. There will be days when you are tired, days when you are frustrated, days when it seems pointless. Those are exactly the days when consistency matters the most. Showing up when it is hard builds character. Showing up when it is inconvenient builds resilience. Showing up when it seems useless builds faith in yourself. Every consistent action, no matter how small, is a step toward a better version of you. Consider an athlete training for a marathon. They don't run 42 kilometers on the first day. They start small, often walking, jogging, or running a few kilometers. They train every day, gradually increasing distance, pushing through fatigue, and overcoming pain. Each day builds on the previous day. Each effort compounds. And when the day of the marathon arrives, they are not just ready, they are prepared, confident, and capable. The secret is not the one long training session, it is the daily commitment, the consistency, the discipline over time. Life works in exactly the same way. Consistency also creates habits. Habits are the architecture of your life. Each consistent action, repeated daily, slowly becomes a habit. Once a habit forms, it runs automatically. You no longer need willpower to act. The action becomes part of who you are. Imagine someone who meditates every morning. At first, it may feel difficult. At first, the mind resists. But with consistency, meditation becomes natural, effortless, and transformative. The same is true for reading, exercising, learning, saving, or any positive habit. The small daily action eventually becomes your identity. And the beauty of consistency is that it compounds silently. People often look at others' results and think it is magic, talent, or luck. They do not see the years of quiet, consistent effort behind the success. Behind every successful person, there is a routine, a discipline, and countless small actions repeated over time. That is the hidden secret. That is the power of showing up consistently, no matter what. So today, make a commitment to yourself. Stop waiting for inspiration, stop waiting for perfect conditions, and stop chasing shortcuts. Choose consistency. Show up every day, even when it feels small. Dedicate 30 minutes to learning, exercising, reflecting, creating, or improving yourself. Do it because you respect yourself. Do it because you value your life. Do it because small, consistent actions create the greatest transformations. Remember, the river doesn't carve a canyon with one rush of water. It does it drop by drop, day by day, year by year. Consistency is your river, your quiet, persistent force that will shape your life, sculpt your character, and turn your dreams into reality.